Marnita sat at her kitchen table in a dirty Marlboro jacket, her shortly cropped hair sticking up and her pants covered in dust. Oversized Carhartts tattered at the heels and several birthmarks on her forehead. She was dipping dried sheefish in seal oil, her lips shiny in the afternoon half-light. She belched, then rubbed her gut, feeling pleased and taking a gigantic swill of Barks root beer. She let out a long sigh of satisfaction, then began to massage her scalp, flakes of dandruff falling into her cup of Lipton tea. Again she belched, followed by hollering, "Barks!" Her partner of 10 years, Tonya, chuckled, sitting across the room, staring into a handheld mirror and applying lipstick, an infomercial blasting. "Come on now, you're gonna wake up your mom." Marnita stood up to take her seal oil back to the freezer, a fart sliding out as she exited the room. After a long sigh, she barked, "Tonya, I'm gonna go meet with Ernest tonight. Can you look after Mom?" Again she burped and scratched her belly under her shirt, then remarked, "Gonna go find out what's up with surveillance. Probably gonna get larried. Can you try not eat the last box of Easy Mac? I want to have it with the last of that tututong." Tonya was distant, lost in a magazine, and smoking a Salem menthol cigarette. Her freshly applied lipstick glistening in the glow of the late afternoon. Marnita scratched her scalp, dirty fingernails picking at the scabs on the top of her head. Her hair was greasy, and she stank like a diaper cooking in a metal garbage can. Most of the men in the village were quietly baffled by Marnita and Tonya's relationship. Tonya was from Kotzebue, born and raised in one of few black women in the entire region. Tonya was nearly 6 feet tall and a ginger, with beautiful God-given freckles and high cheekbones. Her red afro was striking. Villagers, particularly jealous men who fantasized about her, could never quite wrap their minds around how she could possibly be shacked up with a slob like Marnita. Tonya's hide was bulletproof. She'd been called every name in the book and knew every name in the book. She was certainly known to fuck with. She found Marnita to be a soft spirit and ruthlessly shameless in character. The two could not be more opposite, yet they fit together the day they met like butter on toast. Sure, the two had endured their share of village ignorance, particularly those living on an imposed Christian doctrine that was used to socially engineer their spirits into the inferno and all that was the Great White Father, imposing the ideology that hell lies below and it is where one's spirit will travel in lieu of sin. Men like Percy laughed at these concepts, as he was one of few who knew of the underworld. Not to mention the moon, the land of the dead, where as an adolescent, Percy had journeyed nightly. As for Tonya, the pastor often caught eyes with her, gassing up at Big Boys, the village store. There was always a stripe of hate radiating in his cold and reptilian stare, vibrations of rage. He was a man who preached as a method of fear-based control. His overreach could not be ignored, for even some of the town drunks still made it to church on Sunday. Not all pastors were this way. It just so happened that the village of Tuluguk was graced by a pastor named Logan Bogue. He'd been in the region about 20 years, but to all he was still an outsider, despite being a hell of a shot with a 30-30. He forever maintained a certain level of distance with villagers and had only been active in Tuluguk about 5 years. Marnita hated him. She'd cruise by on her Yamaha 80 with her hair flapping in the wind, a lit Marlboro between her lips, flipping him the bird as she zipped past wearing mirrored sunglasses and a tattered Led Zeppelin hat, bum equipment sweatshirt cut off at the arms, and oily Carhartts that smelled like cigarettes and gasoline.